Welcome to the Pay Yourself First podcast. My name is Chris Jolly, and I'm on a mission to financially empower millions of entrepreneurs. I want you to make and keep more money so that you can begin implementing and turbocharging a plan for creating financial freedom your way during the life cycle of your current business without spending a ton of time or becoming a professional investor. You see, most of the financial teachings out there are made for employees, not entrepreneurs. If you wouldn't listen to someone who doesn't have kids about parenting, why take business financial advice from someone without a business? Are you ready to break free of bad advice and follow the trail of other uncommon entrepreneurs so you can get from where you are now to the lifestyle you were aiming to create when you started your business? Then stick around. Here comes another episode of Pay Yourself First, where the only investment we offer is the one you make in yourself. All right, y'all, welcome back to the Alchemy of Abundance Virtual Summit. Excited to be here with you as always, and excited to have another exceptional speaker today. I'm your host, Chris Jolly, for the summit, and this time I'm joined by Dijana Llugoli. Dijana, how are you today?
I'm super abundant. Thank you. How are you?
Glad to hear it. I will choose to be super abundant as well. Thank you so much for coming on. Excited to have you. Now, you're an award-winning international success and business coach, a best-selling author, and a poet. That's super cool. You've dedicated your life to empowering fearless leaders to live on their own terms and specialize in helping change makers achieve their limitless potential. Dijana, today your talk is entitled From Hustle to Flow, and I'm excited to dive into that. But before we do, can you share a little bit about your journey and what inspired you along this work in the first place?
Ooh, a whole journey is like a lot to put in, but I would say I always, since I was a little kid, I knew that I was meant to be more and to give more. I'm a middle kid. I don't know if your audience is familiar with the middle kid syndrome. We're kind of like nowhere to be seen. And I always had this big desire to be visible, to be seen, to share my voice. And throughout my childhood, I experienced, because my parents were immigrants, and then throughout my studies, I always heard this, like, you can't speak. So for me, it was always like, it was not actually, I didn't understood, or I didn't hear that it was a matter of language. Even like moving countries, moving my home country, Slovenia, to move to Sweden, I always heard this in the back, like, you can't speak, so you're not qualified. But it was not actually about I can't speak, like physically speak, but it was the matter of language. Now, like fast forward today, I speak 7 languages and I'm an international speaker. And my journey was actually to discover that I have a voice. And so do you. Whoever is listening to this, you have a message, you have a medicine, you have a voice. And I think my work and my mission is here to really truly empower you to just be and to create your own medicine, because whatever you have, world needs.
Yeah, I love that. Absolutely. So crucial to find your voice. And like you said, there's only one of you here on Earth, and you have a specific message that is meant for everybody. So I love that. Now, let's talk about the hustle and flow, because I think a lot of people are about to feel a lot of relief because you're going to help put the whole hustle culture to rest. Let's do it.
Yes. So yeah, as I mentioned, as a middle kid, like I oftentimes found myself to just, needing that approval from my parents. It was everything like from, being a first human in our extended family to go to university, and then to actually graduate and do the postgraduate and all this stuff. And that was not, for some reason, enough. It was not enough that I actually ticked that off. It was like, oh, let's set the business and let's have a podcast and let's do all these things. So at the end, I would actually satisfy my mom, who was never actually about what I'm doing, but actually like, you're my daughter, and whatever you do, it doesn't really matter. And at the end, it hit me at my 40s that my mom really doesn't care what I do. It's only about after I got divorced 3 years ago, she said to me, you know what? This is the most happier, the most radiant, the most vibrant you ever been, because you really set yourself free. And it's not that because my marriage was not working, but it was really, hey, I am now pursuing something that feels right for me, because all of these years of my life, I have been actually pursuing something that my parents said, my spouse said, my kids said, or something that society wanted for me. And my mom said, like, I never actually, up to this point, up to your 40th birthday, I never seen you more happy. So I think when I flip this, oh, it's not about what I do, because that's not what is required for me, but it's how I show up as me authentically. So yeah, that's kind of a segue into how the hustle from hustle to flow actually became a framework, a foundation of my work.
Okay, so let's talk about it. How can you actually get more done in business, make more money, have more pleasure, all those great things by letting go of the hustle and this idea that you always have to be at it and shifting into that flow state?
I love that. And one of the really craziest things that happened to me in 2020 when I went to experiment, and I was just like, what would that actually mean if I would be? And the first thing that happened, okay, so if I would just be, I would listen to my intuition, which was so crazy to me. I studied, so I did my postgraduate master in business, which was all about the numbers. So left brain, analytics, statistics, all the numbers. So me creatively like thinking, oh, I'm just going to listen to my intuition. That felt so crazy to me. But I said, okay, 2020 is going to be all about intuition. Let's just listen to that inner voice that it's part of innate power of who I truly am. So I went to experiment, and everything that was inner voice. I have been practicing meditation and been meditation teachers since 2016, and then it was really like meditation helped me to really ground my thoughts, because we entrepreneurs, like, we think fast. So it was like, really, okay, I don't need to actually execute every idea that comes into my brain. I just need to ground myself and think, okay, so what would be the best idea that would be sustainable, that would actually, bring the most money. That's how I operated then. And that 2020, which was also uh, instrumental and historical, yeah, for most of us, was also like not because of pandemic, but was actually because I discovered the tool that was like, oh my freaking God, we all have the power of intuition. That is our biggest tool. So I think being is really like, for me right now, is trusting that you always have the answer within. And if we want to like really be tangible and really like, oh, how do I use that intuition? There will always be a time where your mind will try to kind of protect you, and will try to tell you, oh, there's a strategy. There is like this guru that's saying, this is the strategy. This is what you need to do. This is the blueprint that you need to follow. You actually are the strategy. And being that in alignment with who you truly are, that frequency is your currency. And listening to that, and sometimes it's really, really backwards, because people think like, oh, you're just going to be and pray. No, you actually, when you take aligned action from that, there's a voice that said, oh, I'm going to do a 3-day challenge. And you're going to be, okay, so what is the next best stuff for me to do it? When you really align yourself and you really listen to that voice, you will see that there's going to be the next step is going to be, okay, you're going to open your Instagram, poof, there's your blueprint, there's your strategy, there's a mentor, there's someone that will show you that you're on the right path. It works as simply as that. We just need to trust our innate power and intuition that will always guide us to more sustainability, to more prosperity, and to more abundance. Because when you truly tap into the intuition, I think that's the magic.
Yeah, that's so interesting because Dijana, like you had said, it was kind of a radical idea to you. And I think hearing that for a lot of people, especially as it relates to business, it can seem like a radical idea because a lot of business is that strategy, right brain, very analytic, very masculine. But if you focus only on that, then you're not going to find balance and you're going to be missing out, like you said, on all the other answers that are available to you out there. So in business, how do you integrate like both the practical business side with the kind of more woo and the spiritual stuff?
I love this question. For most of the time, I was the one that was both masculine and a little tiny feminine. So I would say like I now flip the chart and I'm more into the feminine, embodying that female role in my business. And I hired a team who can actually do the masculine stuff. You have to, like, if you want to, you can do this thing from the beginning when you're starting your business, and you can play solo and you can do this on your own and trust your intuition. But as you are scaling and you're growing your business, you have to hire a team intuitively that's going to set the processes, the systems that will actually support that your visionary role as a feminine leader or whatever that is. For me, that was really the key. Trusting, also surrendering that I don't need to control. I don't need to manipulate, and I don't need to manufacture everything that and micromanage everything that is happening. Just trusting that my team is going to do their work, and trusting that they are the best to execute the parts that I don't actually want to do it, and I can't do it. So me showing up as a visionary, like showing up in the things that I actually can't be, I wouldn't say replaceable, but me showing up for this beautiful summit, that can only, I can do that. My team cannot do that, cannot execute that. So it's like, I'm showing up, I'm serving, and that's my God-given gift.
It's essential for almost everybody in business to reach that place where they can let go enough to hire people and to build a team. And it goes back to that abundance versus scarcity mindset. But if you, I see how it's easy to happen, because when you start a business, usually it's just you. And so you have to do all the things because nobody else is going to. But you also have to get past that stage. How can people, like you say, surrender into it and let go of those things they've been holding on so tightly so their business can grow and flourish?
Can I say something really, which maybe not be the answer right now to your question, but
Yes.
it's really like I really wish for everyone on this planet running their business would reach a point where they would be millionaires. Why is this so crucial? Is because when you to become a millionaire is actually to make $1 million decisions. And it's not like in the business, it's also in your household, with your partners, with your kids. Making $1 million decisions is a lifestyle. So let's start with just like personal life, just outsourcing things that you actually don't want to do. And it starts with like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna have a cleaner once a week, or once 2 weeks. Just that decision for women, because we women still think that we need to, and I'm talking to women, but it also can be men, of course, but women, we think that we can actually, and we have to do everything. Bringing the money, taking care of the kids, doing the house chores. No, like letting go of some of, and actually delegating and outsourcing some of the personal stuff, that's where it starts. And then when it comes to team and outsourcing the things, just list, be mindful, just list all of the things that you do in your life, in your business, just list them down and just go, like, intuitively trust. What would, if I would be making $1 million right now in my business, would I be still doing all these things? And what is the first thing that can go? Just we are operating in this society right now. What can I add? Instead of like, what do I need to actually let go, and what do I need to kind of delegate, outsource? So just make a list. This is the best thing to actually be aware and be like mindful of. What are the things that I'm constantly doing in my business that I don't actually want to do? And I wouldn't be doing them if I would be running a $1 million business. And then just say, hey, what is the first thing that needs to go? So I would feel more expansive. I would open up for something else to come in that is more abundant, more free, more aligned with who I truly am. So it's simple as that. Sometimes I won't say easy, but it is simple as that. Making that $1 million decision from this space where you still don't have $1 million business will take you there. If you're still operating from this poor decision making Yeah, that's gonna keep you poor.
Yeah, you definitely can't solve a problem with the same mindset that brought you into it. You need to think outside of it. And being able to delegate is so key because you're leveraging other people's time and other people's expertise, which not only gives you access to more time, access to more knowledge, access to more money, but like you said, it also allows you to let go of those things that you don't necessarily enjoy doing. And if you've reached a point in your business where it's no fun anymore, that's probably one of the reasons.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I always say, like, more fun you have, more money you make. It gets to be fun.
Yep. I mean, one of the first jobs I had was in the restaurant industry, and before every shift, the manager would come out and do his little speech, and then he would all tell us to go have fun and make money, and that's really what it's about. So
Yeah.
let's talk about that. What are some techniques and practices that you help people use to have more pleasure and prosperity, both in business and their personal lives?
Yeah. So I would say I geek on meditation, and I have been really, really honing into different modalities of meditation. And also for people who know, Silva Ultramind is one of the centering exercises. I've been Mind Valley Silva Ultramind practitioner and facilitator for 4 years now, and this is one of the best um, centering, the most calming and relaxing meditation that we have been experiencing in our communities. Um, and I would say that's meditation to calm your nervous system. That's where the juice comes. That's where, when you are really, like, when you calm down your nervous system, you can really, really hone into your gifts and who you truly are. Journaling has been part of my recent practice, and I just think, like, after a good meditation, I just want to gratitude journal. I just want to be grateful for everything that I already have, and also call in everything that I want. So gratitude practice is actually an easy one, and everyone can do it. I don't think that you would want to have an excuse. Why aren't you, like, really being grateful for everythting that it is and everything that it's becoming? So gratitude is super, super cool. And movement, I would say that's the piece of self-expression. Like, however you want to move, just allow it to come through you. Movement is such a big component in my life, in my business, in how I am. And I think that has been just journey in itself. And I think movement really, from an energetic perspective, it's really, like, allows the energy to flow through you, so you don't have any stagnant energy. So I love these three practices already in the morning. The first hour is really about these meditating, gratitude journaling, and moving. That's where what gets me into the state. Oh, now I can start the day and, create an impact.
Yeah, that's a great way to set the tone for sure for the day, and some excellent strategies. You know, the more I get into personal development work and the deeper I go into the literature, the more I come to realize there's really two main things you need to figure out to do how to change your life. And one of them is regulate your nervous system, and the other one is how to change your identity so you can let go of those old subconscious limiting beliefs that you've been holding on to. So
Absolutely.
when people are trying to manifest their desires, right? Because you have a lot of people who aren't clear on what they want, which is going to make it hard to manifest. But then you do have people who are clear and feel like they're doing all the things, but still not getting what they want. What are some of the challenges they're still facing, and how can they overcome them?
You just, touch two major ones: lack of clarity. Lack of clarity comes from you are actually not regulated. Your nervous system is not regulated, which is where you got, like, stuff with all the things and modeling and conditioning, and that what really doesn't allow you to get clarity. What it is that I want? What do I actually want? And it took me so much time to get to this place where, no, I'm actually pretty unapologetic what I tolerate and what I don't, and what I want and what I don't. And that sets the tone to call in, to make an order, to claim your desires. So that's the first one. You made this really, really clear. The clarity, the lack of clarity. The second one is the limiting beliefs. We actually do limit ourselves. And most of the times it is back to, I actually don't know how I'm limiting myself. So just check in with yourself. If you say, okay, so my dream is, this goes to entrepreneurs, my dream is to build $1 million business. And if it feels kind of cringy in your stomach, that's where you're actually limiting yourself. So test and challenge yourself, like, why actually that couldn't be true for you? And then comes the negative mindset. Who are you surrounded by? What do you feed your mind with? Are, listening like summits like this, are you actually really feeding your mind, body, and soul with things that are positive? And I know that we are in this like positive psychology culture. Everything needs to be positive. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, are you surrounded with people who will lift you up? Or are you surrounded with people who will constantly say, you can't do this? That's what actually will go on in your program, and you will eventually believe that. I can't do this. I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too white, I'm too black, whatever that is, like I'm always too something. And you will start to believe that. That's 2, 3. And then it's also I would say that a lot of people, they know what they want. They also have the positive mindset, but they're just stuck in this implementation. How do I actually do this? And this is where it gets really, really fun, because when we release the how, so I would love for you, all of you who are listening to this, I'm going to give you a practice and something to implement. If you have a really big desire, I want you to stop and to just after you listen to this, just write down at least 20 ways of how could that actually manifest in your life. So just write it down. Don't judge, don't question, just write it down. 20 ways of how could that actually manifest in your life. And it doesn't need to be true. It doesn't need to be something you're going to take action on, but just to start spinning the wheels that actually can be done. And there are ways to be done. And then after you have done the how, just let it go. You don't need to know the how, just allow it to come to you. And you will see how much of the magic in detachment of the how actually is.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah, I think these were the most important ones.
That's an amazing tool and excellent advice, because I definitely know for myself and for other people, when we have an idea that we want to take action on, the very next thing we think is, how are we going to do it? How is this going to come about? And then a couple of things happen. One is we think, oh, okay, well, that's not very likely. Or who am I to do this? What are the chances this is actually going to happen? Or we come up with one way that it could happen, and then we basically marry ourselves to that one way and close ourselves off to all of the other possibilities. So like you said, even if some of them seem far-fetched or not likely, well, first of all, how much do far-fetched things happen in life all the time? Second of all, at least you're priming your brain to get it moving in that direction. And then the key, like you said, is to let go, because it may come one of those ways. It may come out of left field some way that you never thought of. So I love that.
I also find the power in writing, what you write, you invite. I do honestly believe in that. And when you write down all these like hows, it's like, it's easier. Now I know there are ways. It doesn't need to be like the way that I'm going to execute this tomorrow, but there are ways. I feel supported. I feel grounded. I know that there is a way for me to reach that desire, that goal, that whatever that is.
Amazing. Now, Dan, I want to bring it all back around. And can you tell me how you define alchemy in the context of personal and professional growth?
I love this. So for me, alchemy is transformation, and it's really basically transforming one's potential and dreams into reality. I would say it's that, and then also aligning who you are with the actions that you take.
Absolutely. A lot of great, amazing value for everybody. Now you're going to deliver a little bit more. Your free gift is called Manifestation and Magic Alchemy. It's a free monthly event. The link for more info is right below this video. Can you tell everybody what that is and what they can expect?
Yes, so that's where the magic happens. We bring people, so we have a beautiful yoga studio where we actually facilitate these practices monthly on the new moon. Why new moon? Because I do believe that new moon has its own power where we actually go into the intentions of what we want to call in every single month. And we do this in person and we do this online. In person, people have their own energy that they bring into the circle. And of course, the hybrid is one. I think no one is actually doing this way. I also, so aligning with the new moon, setting the intentions, and then we do a little bit energetic activation, and we do a little bit of breath work, and then we do a little movement. And at the end, we just let it go. And we say, hey, you know what, universe, this is my intention. I let it go, and I know that it's going to flow.
Excellent. So everybody go ahead and check that out. Hopefully she'll see you at her next new moon ceremony for that. This has been the Alchemy of Abundance Virtual Summit. I'm Chris Jolly with Dijana Llugoli once again. Thank you all for joining. Deanna, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
You got it. We'll talk to you all next time.
If you've listened this far, chances are you're an entrepreneur looking to become more financially literate and create financial freedom for yourself from your business.
The Pay Yourself First podcast
Is definitely here to help with that. My goal is to continue to share what I've learned about using your business as the tool to create financial freedom. But let's face it would take me years to share with you everything you need to know via these episodes. Creating financial freedom is something that most people never even consider, let alone make a plan for or take action towards. It's something almost no one was taught anything about. Doing it as an entrepreneur is even more challenging, especially without support. So if you're ready to get clear on what financial freedom looks like for you, come up with an action plan, and get the support systems and accountability you need, I invite you to consider the Abundantly Infinite Entrepreneur. I created the program to help entrepreneurs just like you get a handle on their personal and business finances and start building confidently towards financial freedom. And it's how you can discover ways to take 10 years off your retirement, add an extra 5 or 6 figures to your portfolio, and finally get clear on what numbers you should be tracking in your business and why. Together, we'll gain clarity around your financial goals and what being financially free would actually look like for you. Then we'll put together a customized game plan to get you there and the accountability to see you through. And by the way, you're also going to get all the spreadsheets you need to run your numbers, lifetime access to the materials, including any updates, and entry into our members-only community. In addition to all the knowledge, coaching, community, and systems that you need to create financial freedom from your business, you'll also receive a free financial assessment, a retirement planning session, and guided meditation aimed at helping you embody the feeling of true financial freedom. So yeah, you can just listen to the free content on these podcasts to help you move towards becoming a financially free entrepreneur. And sure, you'll likely see some results, or you can make the decision to commit to learning, implementing, and embodying what you need to know to create the financially free life you dreamed of when you started your business journey. Click the link in the show notes to answer a quick questionnaire, and you'll be on your way to joining the Abundantly Infinite Entrepreneur.